5 years after I married the unhinged billionaire heir, news suddenly broke of my reserved guardian, Kate Brown's death. The transatlantic call from his assistant came at 5 a.m, London time. Miss Fiona, Mr. Kate Brown has passed away. The Brown family is in chaos, and only you can return to take charge. It had been so long since I'd heard that name. I froze for a moment. As the adopted daughter of a powerful family, I'd only done 2 rebellious things in my adolescence. One was coaxing Kate into a reckless night with me when he was drunk. The second was boarding a plane for an arranged marriage abroad, escaping before he sobered up. From then on, the 18 years Kate and I had spent relying on each other since the orphanage were cut all ties. I never imagined I would return home 5 years later, only to attend the funeral of the man I once so obsessively loved. At the funeral, a little boy in a black suit broke free from the people around him and threw himself into my arms. When I picked him up, he wiped his tear-streaked face, sobbing uncontrollably. "Mommy, you're finally home. They're all mean. They only want daddy's inheritance and keep bullying me." Looking at the boy's face, which was an 8-point resemblance to Kate's, I remembered my first meeting with his father. For as long as I could remember, I had no parents. I raised myself through petty thievery and pickpocketing around tourist attractions, until I was 7, when I snatched a Rolex watch from a wealthy heir's wrist, only to be caught red-handed by the owner himself. The man, dressed in an exorbitantly expensive custom suit, didn't hit or scold me, nor did he call the police. Instead, he crouched down, magically placed a piece of candy in my palm, and smiled warmly. "Fiona, I'm sorry. I'm late. My name is Kate. I was an old acquaintance of your parents. From now on, I will be your guardian, your uncle, and take care of you for the rest of your life." He kept his word. He attended my parent-teacher conferences, protected me from drunk troublemakers, taught me how to use forks and knives, taught me to play the piano, transforming that prickly little beggar into a proper lady, little by little. But I was too greedy, not content with just being his niece, wishing to forever monopolize all of Kate's kindness. I planned to confess that one reckless night we shared on his birthday. I even decided that if he didn't agree, I'd throw a tantrum, just like when I was little and wanted candy, crying and making a scene until he finally said yes. But before I could even open my mouth, I heard him publicly announce his strategic engagement to Audrey Benjamin at a family dinner. Everyone in the family nervously stared at me, afraid I'd overturn the dining table on the spot. But this time, I merely presented a velvet box. The box opened to reveal a pair of natural pink diamonds, perfectly cut and dazzling under the lights. My adoptive mother, Sarah, paused, about to say something. "Fiona, these diamonds are worth $200 million. Weren't you planning to make them into a wedding ring?" I smiled gracefully, my tone sincere. "They were always meant for Kate. They'll make a perfect engagement gift." At my words, Kate suddenly felt an inexplicable awkwardness. His tone was half warning, half coaxing. "Fiona, when you were younger, I indulged you when you made a fuss. But from now on, if you cause any more trouble, I won't go easy on you." I secretly clenched my fists, raising a smile. "You're right. I'll make sure not to disappoint your expectations." Kate frowned, feeling like something was off, but then his phone rang. It was Audrey Benjamin urging him to go watch the fireworks with her. He grabbed his coat, ready to leave, but hesitated, turning back to look at me. "Fiona, do you want to come along?" I paused, then shook my head, my voice light as I urged him on. "You should go, Kate. Have fun." Kate stared at me for 2 seconds, then finally said nothing. The door closed and the smile on my face finally dropped. Sarah looked at me, a flicker of pity in her eyes. "Fiona, if you're hurting, just cry it out." But instead, I suddenly knelt before her.